Welcome back to our channel. There is no arguing that Mother Nature has favored some animals over others. Here are the top animals that evolution screwed over. These unfortunate souls did not win the evolutionary lottery. Luna moth. Upon first glance, the Luna moth seems like your average, everyday moth. It is North America's largest moth species, and it does boast a breathtaking foam green color, but that's about the extent of the Luna moth winning at life. Why? It's because the only purpose of a Luna moth's life is to reproduce, and then starve to death. Some literally don't have mouths. Males travel until they find a mate. The mating ritual occurs just a little after midnight. The female lays around 200 eggs before promptly starving to death. A week and a half later, the eggs hatch, starting the twisted cycle over again. Kiwi. The females of the kiwi bird species have it hard. This flightless species has probably been roaming the earth since the late Cretaceous period, and yet evolution still hasn't made life any easier for them. This is also surprising considering kiwis have familiar relatives such as cassowaries, emus, and ostriches. Here's where kiwis are all lucked out. Unlike the majority of avians, female kiwis have a total of 2 functional ovaries instead of just 1. When it's time to lay eggs, the kiwi egg is a whopping, agonizing 6 times larger than what an egg should be. Things reach an impossible point where the egg strains the mother's organs so much that not only does the pregnant kiwi basically drag its stomach around, but eating actually becomes out of the question until the egg is laid. That's not all. It seems like the kiwi's fortune isn't turning for the better at all. Recent studies have shown that there are blind kiwis living in New Zealand, having evolved with blindness due to their nocturnal nature. Cheetahs. Cheetahs are impressive. The fastest animal on land, able to race at a speed of 75 miles per hour and, for short sprints, outrun the likes of the McLaren F1 or a Lamborghini Gallardo. That said, evolution certainly skimmed when it came to giving cheetahs anything else. Modern cheetahs have been found to be several times inbred. Somewhere down the thousands of years they've been alive, they underwent a population bottleneck, an event that resulted in them dispersing over vast areas and that restricted their genetic diversity. Modern cheetahs come from a small number of post-Pleistocene cheetahs, which makes them tragically prone to fatal feline diseases. In addition to that, besides their impressive speed, cheetahs have little to no other skills. They hunt during the day, not the night. Using their speed for too long strains their bodies and raises their temperatures, leading them to need frequent breaks and recovery periods. And while being trapped in the clutches of a cheetah's ironclad-like jaws is no joke, its bite actually isn't powerful enough to kill prey such as antelopes or gazelles. It takes considerable effort to bring down prey, and that's without the much more able hyena sneaking in to snatch the meal away. Koala. Koalas are adorable. There is no question about that, but when it comes to eating, they are the world's worst and most destructive eaters of all time. These cuddly-looking herbivores have evolved to feed on one thing and one thing only: the leaves of the notoriously low in nutrients eucalyptus plant. Koalas are one of the few beings in nature able to stomach and survive on eucalyptus leaves. However, they seem to lack the characteristic that helps keep their teeth free of decay. See, the eucalyptus plant isn't just low in nutrients and rough in texture, it's also extremely toxic. The plant doesn't kill them right away, but over time, the leaves' fiber causes irreparable damage to the koala's teeth, leading them to a stage where they can't eat anything else. Over more time, koalas grind down their teeth as they attempt to chew on the rough leaves. And when their teeth can't handle it anymore, the koalas just die of starvation. Babirusa. And the winner, or really the loser of the evolutionary lottery, is the Babirusa, also known as the pig deer, also known as the animal who gets killed by its own tusks in a gruesome lobotomy. Usually animal tusks serve a very clear purpose. Elephants have them for digging, lifting things, gathering food, stripping bark, and defense. Wild boars also use theirs for defensive and offensive purposes. Even walruses use their tusks as ice picks and to haul themselves in and out of the water. Now meet the pig deer, who lives in Indonesia. It doesn't employ its tusks for defensive purposes. That's what its hooves are for. One species in particular, or the males at least, just end up being killed by their tusks growing for too long. In fact, according to the San Diego Zoo, a pig deer's tusks act as canine teeth, and their sharp ends can end up growing through the skin of their snout and then curve backward and into their forehead. Unless the pig deer somehow loses or wears down its tusks, they will grow up to and over 12 inches, enough to someday penetrate through their skull.
Check out this video. It's specially selected for you. You'll like it.